Betting units are vital for sports bettors. Whether you're an experienced bettor or brand new to sports betting units are a game changer. Successful sports betting relies on trustful information and careful bankroll management, and betting units are a crucial component for both. This video will tell you everything about betting units and how to use them to form a reliable betting strategy. First things first, you may be asking yourself, what is a betting unit? Simply put, a betting unit is a measurement used to define the size of your bet. In other words, it is the percentage of your bankroll that you bet on a game or an event. The size of your betting unit is ultimately going to be determined by you and will largely depend on how much you can afford, on your cravings for risk, and a realistic evaluation of your ability as a sports bettor. To give you a better idea of how this is utilized by novice and sharp sports bettors alike, take this example. If you have set aside $1,000 to bet on the upcoming NFL and college football seasons, and you want to bet 1% of your bankroll on each bet you take, your unit size is a $10 bet. You would have 100 units to wager on that given season, not counting any of the bets that you won along the way. Betting units also allow for sports bettors to better compare their record against other sports bettors. Comparing records with betting units gives a better view of who is more effective over the course of the season. This is not as easy to measure when comparing dollars won or the correct number of picks. Lastly, when seeing other bettors sharing their favorite picks, always be cognizant of the unit size some tipsters will claim they're using. If anyone says something along the lines of 50 units or 100 units, proceed with caution, as it's anyone's guess what unit size that particular tipster is actually working with. Determining the size of your unit is crucial for you to have effective bankroll management, regardless of how big your bankroll is. As stated previously, ultimately this decision will come down to you as a sports bettor. Do you like to have a bit more on the line? Then your unit size may be in the 3 to 5% range. Do you like to play it a little bit more safe? Then most sharp bettors would recommend starting out in the 1 to 2% range. Whatever you decide, it's strongly recommended to bet the same unit size in each and every wager that you place. This allows you to distribute the risk across many bets and mitigates the chances of killing your bankroll when you get a bit overconfident in one play or when you begin to try to chase your losses. Betting units are the best way to track your wins and losses when betting. There is an underrated value when it comes to tracking your bets throughout the season. However, the win-loss ratio is just one of many good things that come with betting units. The odds in sports betting, as you may have already figured out, vary from one sporting event to the next. Therefore, if someone tells you that they're winning 70% of their bets, you would be extremely impressed. But if you found out that that sports bettor only bets minus 200 favorites, he would actually need to win 67% of his bets just to break even. This is far less impressive than saying you hit 70% of your bets, when in fact said bettor is likely losing money long term. Additionally, if you are measuring yourself against a sports bettor with a significantly larger bankroll than yours, their unit size of $50,000 per game compared to your $50,000 a year salary is simply never going to be an equal comparison. Someone could say, I'm up $80,000 this year, but without unit size, no one is sure if this came through betting $100 a game or $10,000 a game. However, when you say that you're plus 10 units, that's much more of an equal equivalent. When we track our wins and losses with units, you have a direct connection between your betting record and the health of your bankroll, thus giving you a better idea of how you measure up against fellow sports bettors. Lastly, it's very simple to figure out how much you lost, especially if you're betting in consistent increments, but figuring out the units that you've won is not as easy, especially given the variance in odds from sporting event to sporting event. Fortunately, the formula to calculate wins is not rocket science either. It's actually very straightforward, and here's how it works. To find out the earnings won by betting units won, multiply the dollar amount that you usually bet by the units that you won. So if your unit equals $10 and you want to know how much that you would win that returned 0.85 units, simply multiply 10 by 0.85 and you'd find out that you won $8.50 on that particular wager. But most of all, the biggest takeaway from all of this is that in sports betting, consistency reigns supreme. For more information on sports betting, the best betting odds of the night, and so much more, head to bestodds.com. Happy wagering, everybody.